Picture this. A world drowned in endless blue, where the sun's rays barely tease the surface before vanishing into fathomless black. It's 100 million years from now, and humanity is just a faint memory etched in stone. The oceans have swallowed the continents, leaving a planet ruled by water and whisper. Down in those lightless depths, something stirs, intelligent and watchful. Have you ever wondered what life might become when land dwellers fade and sea creatures claim the throne? Bioluminescent forests sway like ghostly trees, casting eerie glows on shapes that dart just beyond sight. Shadows twist unnaturally, hinting at minds that think in colors we can't dream. This is no ordinary ocean. It's a cradle of alien genius, born from the soft-bodied wanderers we once dismissed as clever pets. Octopuses, those 8-armed enigmas, have waited eons for their moment. And now, as we drift into the submerged future, faint markings appear on coral spires, deliberate and haunting. Let's rewind the clock to understand how we got here, back to the cephalopods we know today. Modern octopuses boast 500 million neurons packed into a distributed brain, rivaling some vertebrates in raw smarts. They solve puzzles, wield tools, and change color to vanish like ghosts. Yet their genius flickers briefly, snuffed out after a mere year or two. Why evolve such brilliance only to burn out fast? Scientists puzzle over this, linking it to shell loss eons ago, forcing agility against predators. Without armor, they grew cunning to hunt and hide. Cuttlefish remember meals by what, where, and when, echoing episodic memory in us. Octopuses mimic others, observe, adapt. But imagine evolution granting them time, stretching lifespans across centuries. What secrets would they unlock in those extra years? Deep time works its slow magic, selecting for survivors who think ahead. Predation sharpened their edge, turning solitary hunters into adaptable masters of camouflage. No social hives for them. Intelligence bloomed from individual cunning, foraging in treacherous seas. Genes edited RNA on the fly, expanding neural microRNAs for flexible brains. Unlike our centralized gray matter, their spreads through arms, each a semi-independent mind. Feel the chill. These aren't beasts. They're philosophers in ink-black realms. As pressures mount, bodies elongate, eyes sharpen to pierce murk. Lifespans stretch, memories compound across generations. Solitary lives give way to tentative bonds, pulsing lights forging silent pacts. Could such minds bridge the gap from instinct to empire? Fast forward 100 million years, and behold the heirs of those ancient arms. Enormous cephalopods glide through currents, skins rippling symphonies of hue and pattern. Their cities sprawl across abyssal plains, reefs sculpted alive with symbiotic algae that glow eternal. No stone or steel here. Architecture pulses, grows, breathes. Electric pulses weave networks, sharing thoughts without a word. Awe grips us. Intelligence not in towers, but in living labyrinths. Yet unease creeps in, for these metropolises hum with purpose we can't grasp. Colonies thrive, innovate, expand into the void. Tools evolve from coral shards to woven biomachines. Watch them coordinate hunts, colors flashing commands across miles. But perfection hides flaws. What lurks in the gaps between lights? Whispers spread through the water. Entire outposts fall silent overnight. Scouts venture forth, finding empty husks of cities, skins shed like forgotten husks. No bodies, no struggle, just absence. Patterns on walls depict colossal shadows, predators vast as whales yet sly as eels. Evolved kin, perhaps cuttlefish hives or parasitic swarms, devour minds wholesale. Horror stirs. Wars waged not in blood, but memory theft. Camouflage fails against foes that sense thought itself. Colonies fortify, pulses racing with dread. Elders flash warnings, tales of ancient devourers. Desperation breeds alliance, solitary minds merging in panic. Is this civilization's apex or its unraveling? One survivor pulses coordinates, drawing seekers to the brink. Down plunges the expedition into trenches that swallow light whole. Walls close in, pressure sings a dirge. There, colossal structures loom, coral fused with metallic flesh, throbbing faintly. Not cities but cages vast and unyielding. Signals emanate not outward, but inward, binding something immense below. Realization dawns cold. Cephalopods guard, not rule. What abomination slumbers in the core? Heartbeats echo distorted, ancient and hungry. Lights flicker Morse-like pleas across the void. The guard's intelligence serves containment, a duty etched in genes. Ascend now, but the weight lingers like deep-sea cold. Civilizations rise as fires in the abyss, brilliant yet fleeting. Cephalopods mirrored our path, only wetter, stranger. Their genius, born of predation and isolation, peaked in wonders we envy. Yet hubris blinds. They missed the shadow beneath. Questions haunt. Does intelligence doom us to watch horrors we unleashed? Echoes persist in skin flashes, cycles unbroken. Oceans hold truths land minds ignore. Pause here, adrift in this future sea, and ponder your place. Would you trade arms for such sight, solitude for symphony? The markings from our descent pulse once more, closer now. Something watches back, patient as stone. Intelligence evolves, but at what veiled cost? Mysteries deepen, horrors whisper just ahead. Stay tuned. The abyss beckons further. What lies in Act Two's gaze? Let's pull back the veil on these ancient innovators, the cephalopods of our time who hint at futures untold. Today, octopuses wander reef mazes with brains boasting 500 million neurons, rivaling dogs in sheer capacity. They unscrew jars for hidden shrimp, craft shelters from coconut husks, and escape aquariums through narrow pipes. Cuttlefish track what, where, and when they last ate shrimp versus crab, flexing episodic memory we once thought uniquely ours. Why does such genius hide in soft-bodied loners? Shells shed long ago freed them from armored sluggishness, demanding cunning against toothy jaws. Predators forced rapid learning, RNA editing on the fly to tweak proteins for flexible minds. No cultural lore passes between generations. Each hatches knowing nothing, masters everything alone. Imagine that isolation breeding depths we can't fathom. What whispers echo in their ink clouds? Their nervous systems defy our tidy models, neurons sprawling through arms like decentralized empires. Each tentacle ponders independently, tasting thoughts through suckers lined with chemosensors. Centralized brains handle vision and strategy, but limbs improvise mid-hunt. Observational learning flickers in labs, one octopus mimicking another's jar trick. Social bonds? Rare and fleeting, unlike dolphin pods or primate troops. Solitude sharpens individual brilliance. No need for deception among crowds. Yet cuttlefish dazzle mates with hypnotic skin dances, pulses of color encoding desire. Evolution prized survivors who outsmarted reefs alone. Does this lone wolf path curse or crown their intellect? Feel the chill of minds forever apart. Contrast our path. Humans clustered in tribes, sharing firelit tales across millennia. Cumulative culture snowballed, from stone axes to starships. Cephalopods diverged 550 million years back, worm-like kin splitting lineages. Vertebrates centralized brains for social webs. Invertebrates scattered neurons for solo agility. Octopuses jettisoned shells before dinosaurs roamed, gaining speed but courting death. Predation exploded, selecting escape artists who thought 3 steps ahead. MicroRNAs ballooned in their brains, 42 new families tuning neural precision. No parental care. Hatchlings drift, learn or perish. Brilliance blooms not from family, but fierce autonomy. Could society stifle such raw invention? Short lives haunt them, 1 to 2 years max. Genius extinguished mid-stride. Females guard eggs till starvation claims them. A Cephalopod tragedy. Males wander seeking mates, then fade. Why burn bright and brief? Theories swirl. Fast growth dodges predators in unpredictable seas. Semilparity clears space for new mutants. Evolution's churn. Yet cuttlefish plan ahead, skipping crabs for promised shrimp. Future glimpses peek through solitary fog. What if time stretched, letting memories layer like seafloor sediment? Lifespans doubling, tripling, minds compounding wisdom. Solitude might yield to flickering alliances, colors forging trust. Picture that shift. Ancient pressures mutate genes for endurance. Predators evolve too, but cephalopods adapt faster, skins perfecting invisibility. Arms elongate, grasping finer tools from bone and shell. Eyes sharpen, piercing murky veils to spot prey miles off. Neural nets expand, arms debating tactics in silent conference. Tentative pairs hunt together, patterns syncing like wordless Morse. Loose clans form, sharing hunting grounds marked by scent trails. Intelligence leaps as lessons linger beyond death. Elders imprint young with skin-flashed lore. Mystery thickens. Do bonds breed betrayal in ink-dark realms? Humanity rose on land through fire and speech. Cephalopods brew empires in water's crush. We built cities of stone. They dream organic hives pulsing alive. Our societies fracture on politics. There's hum on electric harmony. Parallels tease. Tool use, curiosity, play. Divergences chill. No art, no gods, just pure adaptation. What drove land apes to stars? Sea squirts to depths. Both fled predators, chased calories, pondered peers. Yet octopuses shun groups, thriving alone. Evolution whispers alternatives to our path. Does isolation forge deeper minds or hollow ones? Back in labs, octopuses recognize faces, solve mazes anew each time. They dream, arms twitching in sleep, replaying hunts. Pain lingers, teaching caution. Joy sparks in puzzle victories. Ink blooms like laughter. Emotional lives mirror ours, veiled in alien form. Questions nag. Feel they loss of kin, or only hunger's pang? Short spans deny reflection. Eternity might birth philosophy. Imagine them gazing at bioluminescent stars, pondering origins. Horror lurks. Genius without eternity feels tragic farce. Time's gift could shatter solitude's cage. As eyes evolve from modern slits to vast orbs piercing gloom, futures beckon. We've traced their spark from shell loss to neural webs. Pressures built this bridge from instinct to insight. But gaze deeper. Enormous forms glide forth, luminous giants born of patience. Lifespans cascade into centuries, memories weaving sagas. The solitary eye meets its kin, fading to vast difference. What empires rise when time bends to their will? Hold breath. The abyss reveals its architects next. Fast forward through eons of relentless pressure, and witness the birth of true architects in the abyss. These cephalopods, heirs to ancient cunning, now dominate the seafloor with bodies elongated to 10 meters, skins alive with perpetual light shows. Eyes like vast lanterns pierce the eternal night, spotting prey or peril from afar. Neural webs span their forms, arms debating strategies in chemical whispers. Lifespans stretch to centuries, memories layering like deep-sea sediment into collective wisdom. No longer solitary ghosts, they form loose clans pulsing with shared purpose. Cities emerge not from brute force, but symbiotic genius, reefs coaxed into living megastructures. Algae farms glow within, oxygenating vast domes against crushing depths. Awe swells. Have we glimpsed intelligence transcending our stone and steel? Yet shadows linger at the edges, unexplained voids in the glow. Dive into their premier creation, sprawling reef cities hugging abyssal plains like organic cathedrals. Coral skeletons, manipulated by sucker precision, form interlocking spires that defy water's rage. Symbiotic algae, farmed in sunless nurseries, photosynthesize via chemical tricks powered by vent heat. Structures breathe, expand, heal wounds from quakes or rivals. No rigid blueprints. Growth follows fluid algorithms encoded in skin flashes. Electric pulses ripple through water, a silent internet linking minds across leagues. Hunts coordinate in color-coded symphonies, prey encircled before it senses doom. Communication defies sound, pure visual poetry in hue and pulse. Does such harmony hide fractures we can't perceive? Feel the unease of beauty too perfect, too alien. Watch a typical metropolis hum. Central hubs pulse brightest, elder minds coordinating flows of food and migrants. Peripheral arms extend like neural dendrites, foraging vents rich in minerals. Waste recycles into biofertilizer, closing perfect loops. Tools evolve from sharpened shells to woven kelp machines that filter currents. Young learn by mimicry, arms shadowing elders in mock hunts. Social bonds flicker tentative, alliances sealed by synchronized glows. Betrayals whisper in disrupted patterns, exiles drifting into dark. Innovation surges. Bioluminescent roads guide traffic, defensive barbs deploy on command. Prosperity breeds numbers, cities merging into continental webs. But perfection invites envy. What predators covet such bounty? Modern echoes tease this future. Gloomy octopuses today piling shells into Octopus, dens clustered in Jervis Bay. No cities yet, but proto-villages where rivals tolerate neighbors for safety. Solitude yields to necessity against sharks and morays. Imagine that amplified. Shells give way to grown reefs, tolerance to true society. Electric senses evolve from basic shocks to data streams. Colors, once camouflage, become language rich as speech. Neural expansion fuses arms into superorganisms for megaprojects. Architecture pulses with purpose, every curve optimizing flow. Horror hints. What if expansion awakens slumbering giants below? Questions stir. Can flesh build empires without crumbling? Daily life unfolds in mesmerizing rhythm, clans rising for hunts as vents belch minerals. Patterns flash news. Bountiful crabs eastward, intruders south. Disputes resolve in hypnotic dances, losers slinking away unmarked. Mating weaves color tapestries, genes selected for neural prowess. Offspring guarded in creches, imprinted early with city lore. Elders meditate in quiet spires, visions guiding policy. Tools personalize, favored arms wielding signature blades. Expansion scouts probe new trenches, claiming resources. Unity feels absolute, pulses syncing like one vast mind. Yet anomalies creep, lights dimming in distant sectors, unacknowledged. Alienist chills deepest here. Their art adorns walls and fractal glows, math we intuit but never dreamed. No gods invoked, just reverence for efficient forms. Philosophy pulses in debates. Expand or consolidate. Memories shared directly. No lies possible in electric truth. Our cities fracture on greed. Theirs thrive on necessity. Parallels mock US. Curiosity drives both, but they lack war's scars. Tools hint hierarchy, ornate grips marking status. Reproduction evolves communal, clans investing in elite young. Mystery thickens. Empty dens appear, skins shed intact. Do vanishings signal growth pains or predation? Emotional undercurrents run deep, joy in perfect hunts, sorrow in lost kin pulsing dim. Fear manifests as frantic flickers, clans huddling tight. Love binds pairs in lifelong duets, colors entwined. Intelligence amplifies feeling, centuries breeding profound melancholy. Do they ponder origins, tracing arms to Cambrian worms? We built rockets fleeing limits. They delve deeper, embracing crush. Awe and terror blend. Genius so close to ours, yet forever parted. Cities symbolize triumph over chaos, fragile in fluid realms. Watch closely. A metropolis gleams flawless, but scouts return hesitant. Tension mounts amid splendor, glowing hubs oblivious to encroaching dark. Patterns shift subtly, warnings ignored in expansion fever. One outpost falls silent, its lights snuffed like candles. Scouts find coral intact, but emptiness absolute. No struggle etched, just absence swallowing all. Narrator leans in, paradise hides horrors. What force claims whole colonies traceless? The symphony falters, electric hum laced with dread. Transition beckons. Follow the vanish to ruins whispering doom. Darkness falls over the reef cities, not from night but from silence where light once danced. Entire colonies blink out, their electric hums fading into abyssal quiet. Scouts from neighboring hubs pulse urgent queries, met only by echoing void. No debris scatters, no blood clouds the water. just pristine emptiness swallowing lives whole. What force erases cephalopod genius without trace? Elders convene in central spires, skins rippling distress in frantic patterns. Patterns on abandoned walls emerge under probing lights, crude etchings of colossal shadows twisting unnaturally. Horror seeps in, predators evolved not for flesh, but to devour minds themselves. Expeditions launch into the ruins, arms trembling with unaccustomed fear. Do these vanishings herald war, or something far older? Teams glide through ghost towns, suckers tracing walls slick with recent slime. Coral stands flawless, nurseries full of unhatched eggs pulsing faintly. Tools lie abandoned mid-task, blades half-sharpened from organic sheaths. Electric sensors detect residual pulses, fragmented thoughts frozen in panic. Carvings depict battles unlike any known. No weapons clash, but colors clash in hypnotic overloads. Victims shown rigid, skins locked in death throes of camouflage overload. Evolved kin emerge as culprits, cuttlefish swollen to whale size, hives of parasitic minds merging into singular horrors. They strike not with jaws but neural hijacks, stealing control arm by arm. Chills race. Can intelligence turn predator into psychic vampire? Questions burn. How do you fight foes that wear your thoughts? Survivors trickle back, skins marred by iridescent scars from failed defenses. They flash tales of swarms descending, pulses jamming communications mid-hunt. Colonies fortified hastily, barbs laced with paralytic venom from vent glands. Yet attackers bypassed walls, infiltrating via mimicry perfect as death. Memory theft confirmed. Victims wander off, hollow shells serving new masters. Horror deepens. Wars rage not in blood, but erasure of self. Ancient carvings hint cycles predating cities, devourers rising every millennium. Clans ally desperately, merging pulses into defensive webs. Solitary roots strain under collective dread. What price unity when trust dissolves in ink? Modern echoes whisper warnings. Today's octopuses clash over dens, ejecting rivals with water jets. Cuttlefish hypnotize prey into stupor, skin waves overloading senses. Scale that genius to abyssal empires, and predation births nightmares. Parasitic isopods today burrow into crab brains. Imagine cephalopod variants fusing hives. Evolved cuttlefish deploy ink not for escape, but neural toxins scrambling foes. Battles unfold in silence, colors weaponized into migraines. Victims' arms turn against kin, puppets in tragic farce. Scouts map vanishings, patterns converging on forgotten trenches. Fear coalesces, not random raids, but orchestrated cull. Do cities feed hungers below the seafloor? Desperation forges innovation amid terror, clans weaving sensor nets from bioluminescent filaments. Patrols sync pulses, early warnings flashing across leagues. Traps deploy hallucinogenic clouds, turning attackers against phantoms. Yet losses mount, outposts falling weakly like dominoes. Elders sacrifice arms to etch histories, warnings for survivors. Emotional toll weighs heavy. Grief pulses dim across cities, hunts abandoned for morning glows. Young huddle closer, imprinted with survival lore laced in horror. Alliances solidify, former rivals sharing neural maps. But cracks form. Paranoia accuses infiltrators within. Can minds evolved alone withstand hive onslaughts? Deep in ruins, a lone carving diverges. Not shadows, but tentacles coiling around a radiant core. Patterns suggest not conquest, but harvest for greater purpose. Whispers spread. Devourers serve abyssal masters, funneling minds downward. Scouts hesitate at edges, pressure singing omens of doom. Electric echoes replay final moments. Please cut short by overload. No bodies found, implying translocation to lightless realms. Horror evolves. Vanishings as recruitment, not death. Clans fracture on debate. Flee or fortify. Unity frays under unseen eyes. What if enemies herald revelation, not end? Narrative tension coils tighter. Cities dimming under siege shadow. Patterns unify survivors. Resolve hardening into cold fury. Weapons evolve. Neural disruptors pulsing feedback loops. Scouts press boundaries, arms linked in desperate chain. One flashes back, skin bearing cryptic map toward the plane. Coordinates pulse insistent, overriding fear. Elders assent. Expedition forms amid flickering hope. Dread lingers. Answers may birth worse questions. Emotional undercurrents surge. Defiance mingled with primal terror. Follow the signal. Ruins yield their abyssal secret next. Pause amid the hush, pondering intelligence's double edge. Cephalopods built wonders, yet birthed devourers mirroring their brilliance. Vanishings strip illusions of invincibility, exposing fragile genius. Do all empires court shadows from their depths? Patterns converge, calling brave to brink. Hearts pulse with unknown rhythm, ancient and insistent. Mystery beckons downward, horrors half revealed. Stay with us. The plane awaits its guardian's truth. The cryptic pattern pulses urgent from the survivor's skin, coordinates etching a path into the planet's deepest wound. Brave scouts assemble, arms linked in defiant chain against the mounting dread. They descend beyond mapped realms, pressure mounting like ancestral ghosts pressing flesh. Currents howl warnings through lightless canyons, bioluminescence fading to pinpricks. No songs of victory here. Pulses race with shared terror masked as resolve. Walls converge, jagged scars from eons of tectonic rage. Instruments detect faint rhythms below, not natural but machined, alien to organic seas. Horror whispers, what demands such sacrifice from genius minds? Questions claw. Do coordinates lead to salvation or the maw? The expedition plunges, symphony of fear echoing in tight formation. Depths swallow light whole, leaving only skin glow to pierce the void. Scouts fan out, suckers probing sheer basalt faces veined with glowing ore. Pressure crushes casual thought, forcing neural focus on survival alone. Faint pulses grow insistent, guiding through labyrinthine fissures. Sudden vastness opens, a chasm dwarfing cities, floor lost in murk. Colossal silhouettes emerge, structures fused from coral lattice and metallic sinew. They throb gently, veins carrying luminescent fluid like blood. Not ruins, but living mechanisms spanning kilometers. A battle's nausea. Builders transcended flesh into eternal watch. Yet chill deepens. Pulses emanate inward, binding not broadcasting. Closer inspection reveals horror's architecture. Walls etched with containment sigils, arms of coral barbed against escape. Biomachines hum maintenance, self-repairing gashes from quakes. Symbiotic microbes power fusion cores, harvesting vent fury into steady glow. Scouts trace conduits snaking downward, funneling electric commands to unseen core. Patterns match ancient carvings, cycles of guard and prisoner etched deep. No weapons adorn, defenses passive, enduring eternal vigil. Emotional weight crushes. Centuries wasted not in glory, but imprisonment duty. Do cephalopods serve or suffer this yoke? Whispers query. What slumbers below, demanding such genius cage? Modern parallels haunt. Octopuses today guard eggs simultaneously, starving for offspring's chance. Scale to abyssal eons. Clans sacrifice cities to hold ancient evil. Neural evolution birthed not just cities, but wardens of cosmic threat. Scouts decode signals. Rhythmic bursts suppressing movement deep below. Structures amplify pulses. Neural nets woven across chasm walls. Intruders repelled by overload. Minds fried in color storms. Purpose clarifies cold. Containment of entity predating intelligence itself. Horror swells. Cephalopods may be jailers, evolved for vigilance alone. What crime merits such penance in the deep? One scout ventures conduit edge, arm extending into pulsing vein. Visions flood shared net. Colossal form writhing eons past, tentacles dwarfing whales. It shattered early reefs, minds consumed in psychic frenzy. Primitive cephalopods bound it through mass suicide pulses, frying neural links. Survivors bred for resonance, generations tuning to suppression frequency. Cities funded the watch, resources tithed to abyssal maw. Vanishings revealed as tribute, minds harvested to fuel the guard. Betrayal stings. Devourers were janitors, culling excess watchers. Questions rage. Freedom worth awakening the core? Dread unifies. Duty overrides revolt. Soundscape shifts ominous. Heartbeat distortion rumbling through stone. Structures quiver response. Lights flaring defensive. Scouts retreat hasty. Patterns screaming alarm upcurrent. Confirmation pulses city ward. Guards not rulers. Prisoners in all but name. Emotional torrent floods. Pride curdles to pity for chained genius. Alliances fracture on revelation. Some urge breach, others eternal hold. Elders flash histories. Cataclysms predating Cambrian blooms. Entity not native. Fallen star or primordial godling. Craving thought to feed. Modern intelligence mere warden evolution. Shell-less agility tuned for depth duty. Horror peaks. Our own minds might echo such fate. Ascent agonizing slow, weight of truth heavier than water crush. Cities await news, pulses quivering anticipation. Scouts burst surface, skins ablaze with abyssal maps. Revelation spreads viral. Machines contain apocalypse incarnate. Clans convulse debate, colors clashing violent. Fortifications double, tribute expeditions form grim. Youth imprinted harsh. Vigilance over curiosity. Emotional scars linger, joy tainted eternal watch. Parallels mock humanity's towers. We too guard shadows unknown. Mystery coils tighter. Signals fade ominous, heartbeat strengthening faint. Final pulse diverges, distortion warping into call. Structures strain, coral cracking under pressure surge. Scouts freeze horror-struck. Core stirs, ancient hunger rousing. Low roar builds, vibrations shaking distant cities. Transition beckons final. What breaches memory's cage? Hold breath. Seafloor secrets unravel next. The abyssal signal fades into haunting silence, leaving only a low, distorted heartbeat throbbing through the seafloor. Cities above convulse in unified dread, pulses racing as structures strain against ancient chains. Scouts return bearing maps of doom, skins etched with containment's grim truth. Elders flash final histories, cataclysms cycling since primordial seas boiled. No triumphs echo now. Genius yields to eternal vigilance over the void. Emotional tides surge. Resignation mingles with flickering defiance against fate's yoke. Vast plains stretch silent under bioluminescent veils, hiding scars of forgotten wars. A single guardian drifts near the site, skin flickering the first axe pattern. What legacies endure when fire gutters low? Ponder intelligence's price in water's crush. Pan across endless seafloor, craters pockmarking where cities once gleamed defiant. Coral husks stand sentinel, overgrown by opportunistic algae veiling ruins. No scavengers pick bones. Vanishings claim all traceless into depths. Heartbeat persists faint, a dirge reminding guards of duty's weight. Cephalopod civilization mirrored humanity's arc, rising swift from solitary spark to abyssal empires. Tools refined, alliances forged, wonders grown from living reef. Yet hubris blinded them to shadows birthed in their ascent. Questions linger. Does evolution curse brilliance with self-made chains? Modern octopuses today hoard shells in protodens, hinting social seeds. Futures diverged wetter, deeper, stranger than land dreams. Reflect on their path. Shell loss ignited neural blaze, predation honing arms into thinking webs. Lifespans stretched granted memories compounding might, birthing philosophers from inkjet hunters. Cities pulsed symphonies of color and pulse, electric harmony linking clans vast. Innovation surged unchecked, delving trenches for resources untold. Containment machines arose not from conquest, but primordial pact etched in genes. Devourers culled excess, tribute fueling suppression waves eternal. Emotional core aches, joy of creation soured by sacrificial grind. Do all minds court abyss to fuel their light? Vampire squids today preserve ancient genomes, bridges to lost kin. Echoes warn of evolution's double blade. Humanity's fires burned landward, stars beckoning beyond gravity's grip. Cephalopods turned inward, pressure forging diamonds from soft flesh. No rockets pierced their sky. Depths yielded secrets darker than space voids. Civilizations proved transient, brief flares against cosmic cold. Structures crack now, heartbeat strengthening as vigilance falters faint. Scouts reinforce barriers, arms weaving neural nets tighter. Youth imprinted harsh, guard or perish all. Melancholy pulses wide, centuries' wisdom weeping lost potential. Parallels chill, we too build towers guarding unknown dreads below. What stirs when watchers tire eons on? Single octopus approaches sight, enormous form gliding with purposeful grace. Skin ignites in deliberate pattern, matching Act One's haunting mark. Not random ghost. Ancient mind persists, watcher of watchers eternal. Patterns query depths, responses stirring faint in containment hum. No escape breaches. Signals reinforce bonds of flesh to stone. Emotional resonance builds. Solitude's air reclaiming vigil lone. Cities dim peripheral, resources funneled coreward absolute. Elders fade content, duty passing seamless to kin. Mystery endures. Does pattern encode release or renewal? Heartbeat sinks briefly, then recedes watchful. Broader truths emerge in silence's wake. Intelligence thrives not despite isolation, but through it honed. Cephalopods shunned social webs for individual blaze, yet converged communal under threat. Neural expansions rivaled vertebrates, arms debating philosophy in chemical tongues. Short modern lives yielded long-term cunning. Futures amplified to saga-length minds. Containment reveals evolution's pragmatism raw. No heroes, just survivors tuned precise. Horror softens to awe. Genius bent to planetary need. Empires as mere means. Do we mirror, guarding shadows in silicon dreams? Vast plains whisper cycles unbroken. Fires reigniting ash. Narrator voice softens, drawing viewers from depth's grip to reflective calm. Civilizations flicker brief against eternity's canvas black. Human or cephalopod, all yield to time's indifferent flow. Yet echoes persist in skin flashes, genes carrying vigilance forward. Questions provoke. What intelligence means when alien to our form? Abyssal guardians teach humility before unknown vast. Emotional closure warms amid chill. Awe trumps fear in wonder's light. Patterns repeat, hinting loops eternal in ocean's heart. Final gaze lingers on drifting sentinel, skin pulsing defiant into gloom. Ocean's cradle truths landwalkers ignore, mysteries veiling horrors profound. Intelligence evolves ceaseless, forms stranger with each eon turned. Stay haunted by their watch, questions blooming unanswered. Fires leave traces glowing faint, inviting next cycle's spark. What watches back from our own depths unseen?